recently, in America, we still celebrate Christopher Columbus discovering America. You know, knowing that it was people here already. So a lot of Black Americans they dis they distance themselves from being African in America. They'll say, "Well, okay, I'm Black, but I'm not an African. I don't come from Africa. The slave trade didn't happen. My great grandparents didn't go through the Holocaust." And this is detrimental, but I
Yeah.
think that these things are a lot harder to say when you go to places like Brazil, when you go to South America and the Caribbean, you get a bit better understanding of what Black people went through because it was a lot more Black people. So a lot more history and culture was retained, if you can understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, yes, I do totally. And not to say that the psychological war, the psychological violence up there on the United States was far more greater than right here in Brazil. We pass through physical violence, cultural violence, but the psychological aspect of the mind control, if we can call that, is far more violent in United States. It still is, but it's something we face here because, for example, at every 23 minutes, a black young brother is dying around here in Brazil. The death rate is far more great around here. The death rate of black people, and not just through criminal violence and police violence and police brutality, but medical assistance, lack of medical assistance, and things like that. So it's something we need to deal with patience. We need to deal with diligence because it's something which deals with our very survival.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely a lot of racism in Brazil.
Yeah,
I've witnessed it, you know, because I said I've lived down there. I noticed that it's a lot of segregation. You know, some places you see Black people, and then some places you don't see Black people at all. You know, it's a lot of white Europeans in Brazil as well, and it's like a ongoing thing, like you say, even if it isn't the physical the shootings and the killings is still, you know, a lapse in the medical care, the health, the quality of food, you know, the different things that we suffer from. So I kind of wanted to ask you, do you think it's important for Black Americans and Black Brazilians to unite and work together? And is there a way that we can do that and help each other?
absolutely.
Because we kind of have the same problem.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We have some kind of political warfare trying to convince our people around here that the historical aspect of black people in the United States is different from our historical background around here. But we need to understand that we came from the same places, we came from the same period, and from the same objective. So although we have some difference, cultural difference, we had some historical difference, we are facing today the same problem which has the same root. So it's definitely more than necessary for us to unite it. These tools of internet is one of the main tool we have to use, not the only one. You know why? But is a starting point that we definitely need to do that. We definitely need to join some organization to take contact to that organizations and try to moving forward in that movement.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's overwhelming, but it's something that we have to do for ourselves
Yeah,
because, like I say, um, as a Black American, racism it affects you in every aspect of your life. If You want to live in a certain neighborhood, your blackness affects you. If you get
Yeah.
arrested for a crime, whether or not you go to jail or you go free depends on if you're black. Whether or not you have access to healthy food, whether you have access to health care and emergency room, even if you want to have insurance, being a black person, or even if you want to have credit, you want to go to the bank, you want to get a loan for a house, you want to get a loan for a car, you want to get a loan for a business. All of these things, a big determination is made upon the color of your skin, including the brutality that we seen, like in the case of George Floyd, where they'll just kill you, they'll just take your life from you. But it's
Yeah.
a lot of other things that kind of kill people slowly, and racism has a lot to do with it. Even in the cases where you may see it's a black man and another black man, a lot of those situations are created from racism. The we in America, we have what you call ghettos, or we have projects, or trap houses, or slums. The Europeans created that. The drugs that we sell, the crack and the cocaine, and a lot of these things, they brought these things in purposely to destroy us. And I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of the things in Brazil, like what do you call them? Favelas? Is that how you
Yeah.
call them?
Favelas. Favelas. We have the
Yeah.
favelas here. In a different time, we were obliged to call it communities, comunidades, but it is a favela, it is a ghetto. The community or comunidade was a beautiful name to call it, to mask from the people from another countries what is happening here. We have giant favelas here, giant ghettos. We call it favela around here. Where we have the same problems you have here. We have police brutality, no access to wealth in any way, the health care and some education. I mean, leisure and things like that. We don't. The people, our people don't have in these places. They they have besides police brutality, they have the drug issues where the young kids go to the path. It's a it's not a long run. They die young, and we need to deal with the effects here. We got some groups we deal with those peoples. I don't know if you're familiar with Reaja ou Será Morta. Is a group from a Pan-Africanist group. We deals with police brutality in Salvador, Bahia, and has some connections with Spain and people around there in United States too. So we need more people like that. We need more people, independent minds, willfully to do these things. We need to definitely need to take back our power. We need to understand that only ourselves are going to resolve our problems. We don't have anybody to save us.